Am I wrong for telling my dad the real reason my half sister won't be in the same room with me? I, 31 female, have a half sister, Ellen, 34 female. Same dad, different moms. No, I'm not the result of an affair. Ellen and I are not close and never have been. We only saw each other at family get togethers. Ellen has a husband, Tom, 34. Tom is a nice guy, and when she introduced him to the family, he and my husband hit it off, and my husband ended up hiring Tom to work for him. Tom and Ellen got married and had a baby, and during this time they started having problems. I didn't hear this from Ellen, but from my dad, and from my husband, who was told by Tom. Tom then started staying really late at work, then progressed to coming over to our house often for drinks with my husband, and by extension, me. He became a regular visitor to our house and began unloading his problems. This went on for about 8 months until one evening Tom was quite tipsy and admitted he developed a crush on me. Understandably, this meant he didn't come back to our house. He profusely apologized for this, and we're fine now, but obviously I just prefer some distance. I guess that whole thing was a wake-up call for him because he and Ellen started going to counseling. During the counseling, he told her about what had happened because Ellen called me and screamed at me for the whole situation. She said she and Tom would never be in the same room with me ever again after what I've done. She made excuses for not coming to family gatherings I was at for a while before my dad confronted her, and she said she and I had fallen out and we weren't speaking. I went along with this because I didn't want to tell my dad the truth either. It has been over a year of this. But this all came to a head over my dad inviting both of us and our families to New Year's Eve and getting mad that Ellen wouldn't come if I was going. He started ranting at me that we needed to grow up and make peace, and if we didn't want to talk to each other, fine. But not being able to be in the same room was nuts. I got sick of being berated and said I agree, but it wasn't me who started it. My dad then demanded to know what the fight was about and wouldn't let up. Eventually, I just told him. He's furious. He called Ellen and yelled at her. He called my husband and yelled at him. He's seething that no one told him and that he has been acting like things are fine with Tom this whole time. Ellen is furious with me for telling Dad, saying I did this on purpose and have ruined things with Tom after she'd worked so hard to fix them. I feel bad for the results, but I also feel like carrying the burden of this rift that I didn't cause was unfair on me in the first place. I kept quiet when I didn't have to, but once I was getting heat over it, it just became too much. Am I wrong for spilling? I don't think OP is wrong in the slightest because all she did was simply exist and simply be in that man's presence for him to act inappropriate and to say that because what do they say? Drunk words are super thoughts or something like that. Like basically like when somebody's drunk, the things that they say is usually what they think when they're sober. But yeah, like if my husband told me that he was in love with my sister, I wouldn't call my sister and, yell at her. But then again, it's understandable that she's obviously projecting her insecurities and her marital and home, relationship at home issues onto everybody but, the man that's causing the issues. Because I feel like as humans, it's always easier to project onto other people than to actually, look at the issue that is in front of us. In this case, OP's sister, the issue that she needs to address is her man with the wandering eye and inappropriate comments. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my brother-in-law's wedding because he's too fat? I, 27 female, refused to go to my brother-in-law, 31 male, wedding because of an argument that happened 2 months before my wedding. My wedding was the moment. I had everything planned and it was everything I had dreamed of. Well, almost. My brother-in-law is a massive jerk, typical Chad type. He thinks he's famous and is unbelievably arrogant and unnecessarily mean. So when it came to my wedding, he was a bull who saw red. He texted my husband and begged him not to marry me because I was fat and unhinged. I am size 12 women's and 5'6". I am by no means fat. We still decided to allow him to come as he was family and I didn't want to make a bad impression on my in-laws. But on the day of the wedding, he ruined my husband's day with a last-minute message saying he refused to attend. His reason was that I was a food-eating hurricane that was more horizontally challenged than Saturn to the point that the rings didn't fit. Now, this didn't ruin my day as the thought that must have been behind this insult actually makes it hilarious. In my head, I can imagine him writing ideas on a paper and scrunching the bad insults up, but it ruined my husband's day, which gave the wedding an off vibe. But now he's getting married, and in that time he has ironically got a beast. He's only just a beast, but still clinically defined as a beast. So I refuse to attend his wedding because he's too fat for me to attend. He told my in-laws, and now my in-laws are blowing up my husband's phone, telling him that I have to attend because I am being petty and holding a grudge, and that if I don't attend, then they will go no contact with us both. My husband is upset about this, and he asked me to go for his sake because it has been 2 years and I should have moved on. Am I the a-hole? No, she's definitely not the a-hole. This is a case of treat people how you want to be treated. Because if she was too fat for your brother to marry her, and if she was too fat for you to go to her wedding, then you're too fat, bro. Maybe lose some weight. Maybe unbig that back, and maybe she'll come to your wedding. Am I wrong for telling my daughter if she keeps her pregnancy, I'm kicking her out? I live alone with my 20-year-old daughter. My wife, her mother died back in 2021, and I've been really struggling staying on top of the bills and barely have been able to keep us afloat. My daughter can't hold down a job. She quits or is let go from every job she lands, so I'm financially supporting her. She's my daughter, so I don't have the heart to kick her out of my home, but still having to take care of her financially has been a big burden on me. For Christmas, neither of us really had any money, so we did really small gifts this year. One of the gifts she got me was a pregnancy test that indicated she was pregnant. I started panicking. The thought of having to financially support another person while also guaranteeing my daughter won't be able to get a job got me sick to my stomach. Also, the fact that she thought I'd be excited by the news tipped me off to the fact that she was planning on keeping it. When I asked questions, she told me she isn't positive about who the father is and was going to keep it. I've explained to her if she keeps the baby, I'm going to have to kick her out of the house. She started arguing with me that I couldn't do that, but I was very firm in that if the baby stays with her, she can now live in this house. She isn't ready to be a parent whatsoever, and I will not be able to support them. She accused me of forcing her to get an abortion, which I denied. She can keep the baby, she can put it up for adoption, or she can abort. What she can do is keep the baby and live with me. When I told my sister about this, she was furious at me, and she said I should be thrilled to add a member to the family. I said if she's so excited, my daughter can live with her then. She scoffed, obviously, because she couldn't afford to support them either. Am I being an a-hole by putting this on my daughter? First of all, OP's standing on business, and that's where he should be standing, on a business. I feel like 20 is way too old to know better. If you as a 20-year-old adult can't keep a job, don't want to keep a job, and can never keep a job, then why the hell would you lay and get pregnant? Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section because these stories get crazier and crazier by the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!